So the owner of the studio, we asked the owner of the studio if Breeze can teach me how to tattoo.
I want to say it now.
The owner of the studio told me at the age of 15, and I'll get close for this.
Oh shit.
The only reason a woman should be in a tattoo shop is to answer the phone or to suck a dick.
Oh, damn.
Well, what's going on, folks?
Yes.
Hey.
Welcome back to the No One Comes podcast. We're your host, I'm Rob.
This chick.
AJ.
And we have a special guest for today.
Hi, I'm Kristel.
Thank you for coming on.
I don't know what button to click. So I'll just go ahead and click. There we go.
Appreciate Kristel for coming on.
I want to touch a button.
Yeah, we got a whole little keypad with little different sounds on it for you.
Yeah.
Is the kitty still up there?
The kitty is still up there.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Hold on, the kitty. You talking about something? The rat?
Yeah.
I thought that was just for
Oh no, it stayed up there. Okay. And then I meant to put the cougar on there because all kitties ain't created equal, right?
That's true.
Exactly.
You know what?
Some of them purr a little bit more, some of them growl a little bit more.
No comment.
Right.
True story. But we're gonna interview Kristel today.
For real?
All right. I mean, I mess up sometimes. You know what I mean?
That was not part of the interview, everybody.
You know what I mean?
But Brian, why don't you go ahead and tell us how we got to this interview?
Okay.
Yes.
What's up, y'all?
Give the backstory.
Yo, what's up? Facebook, Instagram. Rod normally do this, but guess what? You got me. We met Kristel here in our studio, and one day Annette is the building manager. She actually introduced me to Kristel to be, a dope tattoo artist. And when I seen her, we started talking, and she was just so open. That's how we started talking. And then I said, "Oh no, you gotta come on the show," because you know how we do. We don't hold no thoughts, so it's just this is perfect for her. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm tied up right now." Now this was back in like September. We went through a lot of pandemic, a lot just in general.
Right.
And she kept her word. She hit the DM and said, "I'm ready." I could not believe it because most people that have some sort of fame or following, they just kind of talk. But shout outs to Kristel.
Right.
She came through and she kept her word, and we appreciate that. But I'm gonna tell y'all in advance because I'm gonna just be honest. We don't have no water. We don't have no chips.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
We don't have nothing to give her. I was supposed to do that. That's 100% my fault.
We are not very accommodating guests. This is like the third time in a row we did this for the guests.
Yes, I'm just sorry, but listen, blame it on me because I do be having like the drinks and stuff. It was on my mind.
We'll blame it on you.
Yeah, definitely blame it on me, 100%, 100%. But I wanted to have her in here to pretty much just like for her to tell some things about herself because her story is so interesting. Y'all faces is going to drop.
So where do we begin?
Oh my God! Well, first
let her go ahead.
Boy, we're gonna start.
First, just tell people, just a little bit about yourself as far as like the tat. Should we go far as like the tattooing first? Like, should we hit the tattoo? Well, that's where break the ice. Okay, well, let's just start talking about the tattoo. Then we get into the juicy stuff.
Dummy. The juicy stuff.
So, how long you been tattooing?
21 years.
21 years. So shout out
Yep.
for 21 years.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
That's a very, very long time. What made you actually start tattooing?
So, I grew up with a pretty independent woman in Florida. She was like city councilwoman, and she was very artistic and eclectic, and used to drag me around to art shows and stuff. And so every weekend we'd be at art shows, and she'd dump me off at a different artist booth to like hang out, and they would teach me certain things. And then, you know, as I started to go through school, I would enter all kinds of art contests, and then all throughout high school, I was in all kinds of art contests and winning stuff, and in the newspaper for drawing. And I hung out with a little bit of an older guy, and he had some tattoos. And one day he said, "I'm going to a tattoo appointment. You should come with me. I told my tattoo artist about you. He said, bring some of your stuff." And I said, okay. So I went with him, and I met Mr. Breeze, who is so important in my life. And
your smile was like this big just now.
Yeah, he makes me want to cry, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have known that women do tattoos.
Okay.
Because this was before TV. This was before women were known to be tattooers. You know, we're talking. I'm 15 years old. I don't know. You know, I'm in a small suburb in Florida. You know, right above Tampa. So I show him all the artwork and stuff, and he tattoos my friend Jimmy, and I get to assist during the tattoo. I get to stretch the skin while he's tattooing Jimmy's stomach, and it was just amazing. And he's like, you know, you should really do tattoos. And I was like, women do tattoos? Wow. Oh my God, I didn't know that was like a thing, you know, like, oh my goodness. And he's like, well, there's an all-female tattoo convention coming up in Orlando, and it's in a couple weeks, and you know, you should go. And so there's not that many women tattooers in the world at this time, you know, because this is like 22, 23, maybe 24 years ago. So I convinced my parents to let me go to the convention. Me, Breeze, and Jimmy go to the convention. And I'm 15 years old, and I actually have a picture of the three of us at the convention.
Man, you should put that picture.
I have it.
I see the picture.
So I walk through the doors, and I'm like, oh my God, like.
This is at the age of 15.
Right,
at 15. Oh, I've always felt weird. You know what I mean? Like, I've always just felt like different from everybody else. I walked into that room. I heard all the coil tattoo machines going. I saw all these fucking badass bitches doing tattoos. And I was like, yep, this is where I belong. Yep. And I was like, that's it. And then I was a huge fan of Lisa Frank. And I don't know how your age range is.
I know Lisa Frank.
So if you don't know who Lisa Frank is, she used to do Trapper Keepers.
Yes.
In the like late 80s,
when we were
early
in school,
90s.
all the girls had them.
And it was like really cute animals with big eyes and real bright colors.
And there was a lot of unicorns.
A lot of unicorns, a lot of leopards, a lot of rainbows, a lot of all that
I'm
stuff.
telling you, went to Fitz. We had them in there.
So when I'm sorry, I'm looking for the picture. When I walked into that room and I felt that feeling, I was like, I'm going to become the Lisa Frank of the tattoo world, and no one's going to fucking stop me. And from that point on, I left, and then I started to look for an apprenticeship. And unfortunately, Breeze could not teach me how to tattoo because he was not the owner of the studio at the time. And I asked the owner of the studio, and I'm going to here's the picture.
Oh my goodness, look at it, 15.
Can you send that to us?
Yes, that's.
I know, we most definitely got to put
It's good.
That's definitely before the tattoos.
Right.
Yeah, it's way before the tattoos.
Way before the tattoos.
Well, I'll send it to you guys. Here, like, send it to you now.
You can do it later.
Okay. So the owner of the studio, we asked the owner of the studio if Breeze can teach me how to tattoo.
I want to say it now.
The owner of the studio told me at the age of 15, and I'll get close for this. Oh shit. The only reason a woman should be in a tattoo shop is to answer the phone or to suck a dick.
Oh, dang! Oh, wait. I wasn't expecting the second one. Wait, are you serious? At 15, that's what he told you.
That's what he told me.
Oh, damn.
And I said, okay. And then I took my ass somewhere else. And then I was featured in a newspaper article because I won some art awards, and I mentioned Mr. Breeze and how I wanted to learn how to tattoo. And then sure enough, when that was published, everybody started calling the tattoo shop and was looking for me and Mr. Breeze, and the owner got mad. Well, needless to say, I still didn't learn how to tattoo from him. I went into several other tattoo shops, basically every tattoo shop in Pasco County, and a couple in Hernando County, Florida. And finally, I found a guy named Jason Collins to teach me how to tattoo. There was another tattooer in the studio at the time named Ron Steinberg, and Ron Steinberg said, if you hire that girl and teach her how to tattoo and go against everything we believe in, I will quit this fucking job right now and walk the fuck out.
Wait a minute.
And Jason said, I'm teaching her how to tattoo. And Ron said, fuck you, went and got his shit and packed it up and left.
Shout outs to...
Right, shout out to Jason. Shout out to Jason.
Damn.
I'm so confused as to what did the studio stand for that a girl couldn't learn how to tattoo? Like,
but this was over 20 years ago.
Yeah,
it just wasn't.
times.
Yeah,
it was just different times. You just didn't. This was
weird.
Still like if you were disrespectful, you got your hands fucking broke.
Wow.
It was like a different time back then, a completely different time. Like I would take walk-ins when so I learned how to, I took my apprenticeship, it was 2 years. By the time I was 18, I was tattooing full time, and then I got pregnant soon after, and so I tattooed full time through first pregnancy. I had to put a note on the door saying I'm going to the hospital to have a baby. And then I went and had the baby, and then I got out of the hospital 3 days later, took a day to rest, and then went back to work. Back full time, and then I had another kid a year later, same thing, like went to the hospital last minute, and then continued on. So like it was just a way different time back then. And when I would take walk-ins at the studio I was working at, like men would literally laugh in my face. They're like, "You're gonna tattoo me?
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen."
Oh wow.
But damn.
Like, and I was like, okay, like so. Amused to rejection.
Well, right now you're winning.
Right,
Yeah.
I was about to say, all that did, it
Oh,
seemed like
I know.
that just made you go harder. So.
Oh yeah, about 4 years ago, I got to do a really big cover up on that guy's work. I'm the guy that told me about sucking dicks. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I got to
man.
do a big cover up on him.
Well, since you're speaking on sucking dicks, like,
Oh, here we go. I know it's coming next.
well, you said it, I did. She emphasized it again, so I
there we go.
let me
Yeah.
over.
So are we gonna jump off the tattoo?
No, I was just playing.
Okay. Sure. But did you always have like naturally good at drawing, or did you have to like practice drawing, or you just picked up a piece of paper and just been able to draw and converted that into doing tattoos?
Yeah.
I had a really lonely, weird, fucked up childhood. So I spent a ton of time drawing. Ton of time. Because I spent a ton of time by my fucking self. With myself or with a horse.
A horse.
With
A horse.
Yeah, horse
Okay,
riding.
wow.
Yep.
You know what's funny? My daughter doesn't. I mean, she don't spend a whole lot of time by herself, but she's one of those kids. She'll draw on anything.
Yeah.
And she's been. And when the whole time when you were just saying it, I was laughing to myself because she's been in the papers. She's been in the school district's website. She's
Yep.
had her work at the art museum.
Yeah.
And I remember the one time I caught her. Well, I didn't catch her doing it, but it was after the fact. And I said, "Did you draw on the wall?" And she was like, "I didn't draw on the wall. It's your room. Who else drew on the wall? Like, you're too old to be drawing on the wall." Because it did. It's just that.
So
That my daughter does the same thing.
when I was a teenager,
Just to draw, just to draw.
hated my mother. I still hate my mother.
Oh, okay.
So
Hate is pretty strong.
I
Yeah,
hate
I
that.
mean-
I hate my mother. I hate
Okay.
my mother.
Okay.
So I would make giant collages at art class. So then I used to get grounded a lot because me and my mom used to fight and fist fight and just we hated each other. So I'd spend a lot of time in my room. So I covered my whole fucking room, the back of the closet door, the back of the door to go into the room, from floor to ceiling with magazine clippings. From like Source, from Vibe, from National Geographic, from just like any Rolling Stone, any type of magazines I could get. To the point that people in my school knew what I was doing and would leave magazines in art class for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were
Like you could not see you couldn't see any paint on any of the walls. Like I literally glue everything to the walls. My mom hated me for it.
Now, did the solitude, was that what brought out your artistic side of you, or did you like sometimes get like a vision and just start jotting things down, or it was just like you were just sitting there and just let the pen take you, or a piece of paper or whatever, take you to where you go to do your drawings?
I had something pretty super traumatic happen when I was 13, and so then I started to get a little bit more artistic after that. And then of course I had problems at school because I didn't know how to handle what was going on, and I got put into like an alternative school, and there was only 115 kids in the whole school, and there was only 10 girls. Yeah, so being in a troubled teen school, the teachers did whatever they could to connect with kids, you know, and they saw me doodling. And the more that I doodled, they were like, give her more paper, give her bigger paper. So the paper turned into poster boards, and then the poster boards turned into caricatures of each teacher on their doors into their classrooms. And then do you remember the big billboards in the hallway? Where, you know, they put stuff on, they'd be like, just give her a billboard. So then it was all the billboards in the school. And then my mom tried to put me into a military type school, and we actually went to court over it. And my mom was the only one that was being forceful to get me sent to this academy, and there was even less girls there. And they were like, if she goes down that path, she's not going to come back. You know, like we need to send her down a path with art. So all my teachers, all like I think like 10 staff members came and were like fighting with this judge, like, no, do not send her there. We found this tech school, and they usually don't take anybody until your junior and senior year. But I was a sophomore, and they're willing to take her early, you know, because she has potential. So I got into that a little bit early, and then I was in ISS one day. When I got transferred out of the alternative school, I got transferred back to regular high school, and I was in ISS pretty quick. And I had a hoodie on, and I was drawing a portrait of someone. It was actually Prodigy, the guy from Prodigy with the hair. I always forget his name.
I can't think of his name.
I
know
you're talking about.
I can't think of his name to save my life.
So I was drawing a portrait of him, and Mr. Verge, the art teacher at the high school, came over and was like, I had headphones in underneath my hoodie, and like a Discman. You know, like,
I remember the Discman.
And he, you know, like got my attention, and he was like, you know, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm drawing. And he's like, do you know, like, where did you come from? Who are you? And I explained who I was and stuff, and he goes, put your pencil down, bring the drawing, come with me to the principal's office. And I was like, what the fuck did I do now? Like, what the fuck?
Can't catch a break.
No,
Stay in
like,
trouble.
I'm like, fuck, man, like, and then we go down there, and same thing. He's like, she doesn't belong in ISS, she belongs in the art department with me. And then from then on, like, he took over basically any high school issues I ever had. So, yeah.
So you're like the tattoo version of Queen's Gambit. I don't know if you've seen
Sure.
That was a good movie.
Yeah. So
so
my senior year of high school, I spent it either sleeping on a table in the art department, or painting a giant mural in the school cafeteria, and that's what I did my whole senior year. Yeah.
What was the mural of? Now I want to know.
A whole bunch of different people. I think we painted like 50 people on the wall.
It was like influential people that you guys.
No, it was actually like life-size cartoons of different people that were in the school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we did like a football player and like a cheerleader, like leaning up on against him, and then everybody that worked on the mural, we actually did. I think there was like maybe 10 of us. We painted ourselves in the middle of the mural, and the art teacher.
So my question is, like, I mean, you had a lot going on as far as school. You just mentioned that you hate your mom.
Yeah.
We never spoke on your dad at all.
I've met him twice.
Twice, wow.
I got daddy issues.
Uh-oh.
Big time daddy issues.
I did want to ask, if it's not a sensitive subject.
Almost said something.
I did want to ask if it's not a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
What was the traumatic experience?
I was hanging out with some people and I was drinking. I was gang raped by 3 men, and then they left me pretty much wasted, basically for dead on the side of the road.
Oh shit!
And I woke up because a car almost hit me.
And you were how old?
13 years old. That's how I lost my virginity.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You gotta warn us for stuff like this. I told y'all. I said.
Yep.
Damn.
Whew.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Hey, it's made me who I am. It's nothing. I can't do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I shouldn't have been hanging out with people that I was hanging out with, and I shouldn't have been drinking at 13. So it's not like I'm not saying it's my fault, and I'm not saying it is my fault,
right.
but it happened. I can't take it back, and it doesn't affect me now. You know what I mean?
It's a messed up situation.
It's a messed up situation, and like everything that I've gone through in life, every traumatic experience has to be for something.
Right.
And man, I do so many cover-ups on women, and the stories that they tell me.
Right.
Oh my God, it's nothing compared to what I just said.
Right.
Fucking nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of tattooers that take on cover-ups and they don't do great jobs, they don't realize that the traumatic experience that some of these women go through that have these tattoos, these markings, that have to do with traumatic experiences, that they want them erased.
Right.
And I have a ton of cover-ups on my own personal body.
Right.
So I know what it's like to cover up, bad memories and traumatic experiences, So, I don't know. I feel like it goes hand in hand, whatever. It happened for a reason. It made me a tough chick, from an early age.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. Man.
He lost for words.
Because you already I already knew like some things, but then when she throw something else in there, it's just kind of like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, wait,
well, it's not something I advertise, but
right.
if somebody asks, I'm going to be open about it. It's part of my story. It makes me who I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happened. I can't undo it.
Right.
All I can do is talk about it. And so maybe like some other chick that maybe that happened to them and they're not comfortable talking about it. They're like, oh shit, this girl just dropped that shit like it was nothing on a podcast. Maybe I shouldn't be ashamed of what happened to me. No, girl, you should not be ashamed. It's the men that should be fucking ashamed for acting like fucking pieces of shit.
Did you do any type of therapy
at all? Bunch of love. Look, bunch of hearts over there.
Any therapy at all in your life?
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I hate my mom. I think something traumatic.
Wait a minute, just the way you
I think something traumatic happened to me when I was little, and I think it's blocked out. And my mom, I was always like a different type of kid, I could see like dark spiritual things in, like certain, instances. My mom had some tombstone rubbings. I don't know if you know what those are. We had some of those in our house. And I told my mom that I could hear them talking at night.
Right.
And, this kid's fucking weird,
Right.
So my mom was constantly putting me into therapy. That's my mom's, solution for everything is therapy, therapy, therapy. No, bitch, you need to do some shadow work and deal with your own fucking demons and stop projecting shit on other people. No. Shit, you know what I mean? Like, she thought I was a weirdo because I like tattoos, because I colored my hair, because I listened to Snoop Dogg, because I wore baggy clothes. Like,
well,
man, like,
I know you say you got that talent. Did you see anything in here? Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Okay, I was just making sure. You see some dark spirits over AJ?
No.
Over Rob? Just making sure, this is me too.
No, so I've tried therapy, and it doesn't work for me. It doesn't. I've been poked at too much as a kid that it's just, no. I'm good.
So
I'm good.
All that alone time you spent, like, did it affect your drawing after, like, was there a difference between before and after that experience?
Yeah, definitely the collage stuff started to happen, and that stuff started to get weird, and then I started to mix mediums with collages and paintings, and I have one still at my house, actually. It's made it through the travels since I was 15. I'll send you guys a picture of that too. So that stuff definitely progressed. Yeah, and I started, to sink myself more into art, and art's what saved me. Tattooing is what saved me. Yeah.
Now, do you think it got better after, not saying, that was a good thing, but did it get better, or like did it open up something in you to do even more drawing, more in depth, more?
I think so, because I definitely think so. You get stuck with your own demons and your own mind and stuff. You got to have some type of way to get it out, and that was the only way I could get it out. And I started thinking, well, I like tattoos, I have art supplies, maybe I can start tattooing myself. So I started.
Oh, so you did your first tattoo?
I did a little pick and poke with my own little art supplies. I did a little pick and poke on my chest, and I did a little one on my ankle. I did that at 14. So, soon after, that happened, I was like, oh yeah, well, here, I'm going to do this. And then I was like, okay. And then I started to get more like looking into tattoos and stuff. But again, didn't know, I couldn't get access to like tattoo magazines or anything, My mom was already giving me shit about, Vibe and Source magazine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were having fights about me listening to fucking rap music. Like, now it's just like normal. Do you know what I mean?
I know
like,
you hear this a lot as far as like, what was the purpose of the sleeve? The just one solid color.
Okay, so I got heavily tattooed at a very young age. I have another photo I can send you guys of me at the age of 19 or 20, and I already had a tattoo on my neck. I had basically, 2 sleeves, happening, some stuff on my chest. So I got tattooed pretty early. And as soon as, I was full on in the career, I was like, tattoo me, like, let's get it covered, like, let's do it quick, like, no thought of planning it out, mapping it out. This shit lasts forever.
Right.
No thoughts of that. I was just excited, know. And so I just put a bunch of stuff on my arm, and it didn't really make sense. And then I wanted to try to fix some stuff and get rid of some memories that were on there. And I had, friends that were tattooers, and I would explain to them what I wanted, like cover-ups and reworks. And it didn't go well, and I wasn't happy. And then I was like, oh, I just hate this. And then I saw some blackouts overseas, a lot of body modifiers, a lot of piercers over there and do it. And I was like, oh man, it just looks so like, it's almost like permanent clothing now because it's large chunks. So I liked it. So I started with there was a tattoo on the back of my arm that I didn't like. So I just blacked out a big part. And I liked that. So then I didn't like a little tattoo right here. So then I blacked out that part. So I just had like a small part of my, forearm blacked out. And then I found an artist in Detroit. I stumbled on him. We were working the same convention. His name is Nathan Mould. And that's his Instagram too. So look him up.
You didn't say yours. You need to say yours. A lot of people like the story. I'm just letting you know.
Nathan Mould was out of Pittsburgh at the time, and what he was doing was blacking out people's arms and then going over it with white ink in geometric designs.
Wow.
It almost looked like alien geometric, this crazy pattern type stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do it. I just want to do it. So I reached out to Nathan, and I was like, how do we start this process? And he's like, well, you got to black out your arm, then you have to wait a certain amount of time before we can do the white. And I was like, okay. So I blacked out, I wanted to do the whole arm. And then I said, fuck it. And I blacked out the whole arm. Well, after I had the black arm for a little bit of time, I started to realize, do you see all these little white dots? Do you see them?
Yeah.
Those are like my freckles. So I got worried that if I went over stuff with the white ink, that the freckles would cause like a blurriness in the design. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I would be right back where I started of hating my arm. So I just left it and just let it be. And then I was like, the more this blackout stuff started to come, into the industry, artists started doing crazier stuff with it. I've seen blackout sleeves where they do color over top of it. And then I've seen blackout sleeves where they do big, bold black outlines of like American traditional tattoos over it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a couple years to see where everybody's kind of headed. And then I'm going to figure out where I'm going to go with it. Right. So my first layer of black I've literally had for 7 years. So just this January is when I went and got my arm re-blacked out by Hoodie, who is here in Fishtown on Girard at Black Vulture Gallery. And I told him that I wanted to keep it black because I like the contrast, and I wanted to be more a representation of fighting my trauma, my darkness, and my depression. And he's like, okay. And then I was like, I want like a warrior type bracelet on the bottom. Right. So I had a piece of art who was actually came from somebody that worked with Nathan Mould at his shop, and it's this like Viking looking chick, and she's got, you know, these bracelet type markings on her thighs and on her arms and on her neck. And I just thought it really spoke to me, so I was like, okay, I want, you know, like a bracelet. So he left some areas open when he did the blackout, and you can see that it's like a lighter gray. Well, that's the blackout that's underneath. So now it just looks like I have a giant bracelet.
Right.
Yeah.